Alright guys, so if you watched the first part of my video, I showed half of my craft room. This is the part 2 to my craft room tour. So I just showed you the shelf there and my spinner. And right now we're in my actual workspace. Here is the newest unit to my craft room. This is this really awesome 3x3 unit that I bought from Michaels. They had their storage 50% off, and I just thought this would make a great addition to my desk space. I have yet to fill it all the way with stuff, so I'm still working on organizing and putting things in this. But you guys could imagine with the space this provides what you could put in it. So the top shelf, I just put some things in there that I really want to use up, like these puffy stickers, some small word stickers, just little things that I want to use up, that I need to get out of my craft room because I've had it so long. So I just put stuff in there so that I can just grab stuff out of that drawer whenever I need something a little extra for my page. I put dividers in this little drawer, so I plan on putting some things in here that I need to use right off the bat, or I want really easily accessible to me. And then here I have all of my adhesives. So on this side I've got adhesive tape. I have all of my pop dots all in this drawer. Super accessible. I've got some glues, all my extra glues, glue runner. So all of this stuff is really accessible right there when I need it. Here's my other Ott-Lite. In this Ott-Lite, I have my Tim Holtz tissue holder. I've got my Ranger Mister because I use that puppy all the time. I've got some little gel pens from Target. I have my eraser, and then I have my Scotch Quick Dry. Best adhesive ever. Really, guys. Love this stuff. Alright, so above my craft space, I have these two wonderful shelf units. So this one I got from Michaels pretty much like 3 or 4 years ago. It's like a craft hutch. So I have my buttons on the top shelf, Martha Stewart glitters on the second shelf. I've got more Martha Stewart glitters on the left. In the middle, I've got all of my confetti glitter. On this one, I have all of my stickles. This is all of my sprays. So I have two rows of sprays. The front is my Heidi Swap sprays, and the back is Tattered Angels and Tim Holtz Distress. And a few Hero Arts back there as well. And then I'm starting another row of sprays. So these are my newest Glimmer Mists. Now this is my pride and joy. This is my ink pad holder shelf. This is from Organize More. I want to say Organize More. Either Organize More or Stampin' Storage. But these are all my distress inks on this side. And I printed off these labels. If you go to the Ranger website, you can actually print these labels off yourself. Now, not all the colors are printing off though, because my blue, since these are new, the blueprint sketch was black, as well as the Lucky Clover was black. So I'm sure that they will eventually update it, but since he was putting out new colors last year, they didn't want to give away the color before it came out. So these are all my distress inks that are labeled, and the missing slots actually are distress inks that I'm missing from my collection. So I printed out the label. I printed out the label, and I just have it in that slot ready to go. So when I pick up the ink, I can just go ahead and label it and put it in the slot that it goes. I was also really big into paper tray ink. Before I started scrapbooking, I was a card maker. So these are all my paper tray inks, ink pads. And then I also have room to grow. So I really like that. So this is my actual workspace. Moving on, I have this IKEA Alex drawer on my left of my chair. So the top drawer is nothing special. My top drawer basically just has scraps because I'm always grabbing scraps so I can test things out, stamp on things, before I actually stamp on my cards or my pages. In this drawer, I also have some accessories from my die cutting machines, so I just keep them in here. This little guy, this is really cool. This cuts my my dies apart, because you know when you buy new dies, they sometimes are connected. And then I have my metal shim. So this drawer is not special, but I open this drawer constantly to look for scraps of paper and my baby wipes. Next in this drawer, I have my embossing powders. So I took a cue from Jennifer McGuire, and I wanted to put a sample swatch on the bottom of these embossing powders. So I went ahead and embossed the color with using a round stamp, and then cut it out with a circle punch. And now I have a swatch on the bottom of each one of my bottles, so I don't have to, like, it tells me exactly what it looks like before I even do it. So that's very, very helpful. I've got all my golds and whites and silvers, my reds, pinks, and oranges. Then I've got my Versamark. And then in here, I have the ones that I use the most. So I've got my black, clear, and then white in the big one at the bottom. I also have my coffee filters in here because anybody that knows when you emboss, the embossing powder can get everywhere. So I use coffee filters to kind of funnel the excess back in. This next drawer is kind of a mess as well. These are my inks that I use almost all the time. So I just decided to put them in a drawer so I could just easily grab them. These are all my black inks. So I've got Memento, I've got my Hero Arts, I've got my Gold Glitz, my Delicata. So I use these inks all the time. And then I have my clear acrylic stamp blocks. This cool little divider I got from Bed Bath & Beyond. Next drawer, this is my tool drawer. So these are all my tools. This is this cool little Epiphany Crafts punch, my Dymo. I keep my glue gun in this pouch with all the accessories, so I can just actually pull this out instead of having it like messy in the drawer. I can just pull the pouch out with all the stuff. Same thing with my fuse tool. I have my fuse tool in this pouch. Down here I have my stamp cleaner and then my bone folder. So I really like the way I have that. In this last drawer, this is my extras drawer. So this is where I keep all the extras. I have all of my extra blades, my extra adhesive, more extra adhesive, all of my Dymo tapes, my binder rings, my Dymo extra pop dots, my Brother label maker, an extra extra Heidi swap, extra little baggies. So this is my extras drawer. I know everybody has one. On the top here is my Big Shot with all of my dies. I have all of my dies in this little container I got from Bed Bath & Beyond, and I use the Jennifer McGuire method, as well as my Cuttlebug folders back there. I have my miniature die cut machine, which I showed in a recent haul. Love that guy. And then in this little container, I have some of the things that I typically use when die cutting, like my little poker tool, and some of these other things I like to use. So I just have that right there. And then here's my tall Alex drawer. So I love Scentsy. Scentsy is what I use in my room when I'm crafting. I love to pick a new scent. Oops, sorry. So here's my Scentsy drawer with all the Scentsy's. Everybody's got to have a nice candle or something going while they're crafting. These are all my wood veneers. I have them all in this little plastic container here, separated really nice. Organization makes me happy. Here's all of my sequins. These containers are the pop and lock, I think. storage systems. I got these on Amazon for like $11 or $12 each. Really awesome for your sequins. And then I have extra sequins back here in these little bottles. Here I've got doilies, glassine bags, all my envelopes and things, and then more little envelopes. Now this drawer is one of my favorites. I got these little containers from IKEA, and I decided to take all of my flair out of the package and put them in one spot. Believe it or not, guys, I've been using my flair so much now that I am able to look at them all, because before they were all in the packaging and I'd have to flip through them all. But now I can just pick out this container, take it to my desk, and go through it. So I think this is a really cool way to make your supplies more accessible so that you are able to use it more. Same thing with brads. I tend to not use my brads, but since they're just right here, I can just pick one out and take it to my desk. Here's some bows, and then here's some brassy buttons. So that was an embellishment drawer. This is another embellishment drawer. I picked up a whole bunch of these little containers from Tuesday morning, and I've separated all of my paper clips in here. I've also separated buttons, and I've got stick pens. So it's a really good way to separate all of your stuff. These are all of my shabby chic frames. And then here's some cabochons and flowers, and then some other little metal trinkets. So everything is nice and clean, right where it should be in its own spot. This is my bling drawer. So I've got bling separated in that container, in the packaging here. Here's more bling. I don't use bling that much. I just like to collect it, I guess. This is also one of my favorite drawers. This is a texture drawer. So it's got all kinds of cool textures. It's got crepe paper. It has these really cool little textures I got from Scrap Expo a couple years ago. It's got all my paper tray ink felt, all kinds of felt accessories and embellishments. And I've got them really organized. And I've got some little tassels from Michaels back there. Some gold flakes, gold and silver flakes from Mon Ami Gabi. So I really like this drawer. This is a fun drawer. And then down here at the end, I have ribbon and doilies. So I've got my miniature doilies in there. Glitter ribbon here. And then just like little random glitters. Not glitters, random trims. So I've got sequin trim, glitter trim, some trim from Mon Ami Gabi, little dollar spot trim. In these little containers, these are the candles you can get from Bath & Body Works. I clean them out after the candle is done, and then I store my ribbon rolls. So here's more ribbon rolls. And yeah. So that's my tall Alex drawer. Next on this corner, I have my craft cart for mixed media. This is my Raskog. This thing is jam-packed full of stuff. So I'll just go real quick. The top layer is mostly acrylic paints, my distress paint daubers, all kinds of acrylic paints I've picked up from Target, Tuesday Morning, Martha Stewart, Heidi Swapp texture paste, gesso, Faber-Castell, Ranger texture paste. On the side here, I picked this little thing up from IKEA. I just kind of hang it on the side, and it holds all of the paintbrushes and the palette knives and things. This little guy holds my favorite paintbrushes, and then I also use it when I'm watercoloring. The second shelf has more acrylic paints, more of the distressed products. So this is Black Soot Distress Crackle Paint. What are these? Liquid Pearls, all kinds of fun goodies. In the back there are my new Dilutions paints. Here's my Prima watercolors, my watercolor palette from Michaels. Here's some stamps I like to use when I'm art journaling. What else? Oh, these are sponges and like cool little accessories that you get in the Faber-Castell gelato packages. Speaking of gelatos, here's my basket full of gelatos. So fun. My new Distress crayons. Back here, I keep all of the plastic packaging from like ephemera and stuff, and I use them as palettes for my paint and acrylic stuff. And then my Tim Holtz tissue paper. Alright guys, I think I'm at 15 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and stop here, and we're going to come back with Craft Room Tour Part 3. Thanks for watching. I'll be back in a minute. Bye!